The galaxy was terrified. Until an ancient human warship entered the fight, the galaxy was trembling. Worlds once proud and confident now cowered in fear. From the icy plains of Korath to the dense jungles of Vyrlia, no species felt safe. Ships that had been considered strong were burning in space, their hulls torn apart by weapons no one could stop. Entire fleets vanished in minutes. The news came like a storm, carrying terror from one system to the next. The aliens who led this destruction were merciless, calculating, and cruel. They did not negotiate. They did not spare civilians. Their only goal was total conquest. Among those watching this fall was John Carter, a human observer and diplomat. He stood in the council chamber on the planet Avaris, a round hall filled with holographic screens showing distant systems under attack. The chamber smelled faintly of metal and ozone from the energy shields. John's eyes moved quickly from one screen to another. The alien fleets had advanced weapons, faster than anything humans had built. They tore through the defensive lines of the coalition worlds like paper. Many civilizations were panicking, and the council was paralyzed by fear. John could feel it, the fear in the air, heavy and choking. John had been sent to the council to observe and report, but there was little to report that could give hope. Every time he spoke, other species would glance at him with doubt. Humans were known in the galaxy, but only as a small, distant species. Humans had colonies, yes, but nothing compared to the massive fleets of the Zarnak Empire, the alien force now sweeping across the stars. They said humans were peaceful, slow to act, and weak in battle. They said humans were only good at surviving their own little corner of space. John hated hearing it, but he could not argue. He knew humans had never truly fought at this scale. The council itself was a mess. Representatives of many worlds argued endlessly, blaming one another for failed defenses. One species, the Trivans, wanted to abandon border worlds to save their capital. Another, the Lyrans, demanded more ships be sent immediately, even though they had none left. Chaos reigned, and in the center of it all, humans were treated as spectators. John tried to suggest caution, to build stronger defenses and use strategy, but the council dismissed his words. Humans were just observers, nothing more. Yet not all hope was gone. Deep in the edge of human space, far beyond the colonies most species knew, something stirred, something old. A faint signal appeared on long-dormant sensors. It came from a part of space humans had mostly forgotten. The signal was weak, irregular, almost like a heartbeat buried under decades of silence. John did not know its origin, but he felt a strange chill when he saw the readings. It was not fear, it was curiosity and a hint of hope. On a remote planet called Arden, far beyond the well-traveled trade routes, a human settlement had survived in isolation for centuries. Among them was Ethan Cole, a man of discipline and calm, with eyes that seemed to see everything around him. He was not a soldier, not yet, but he carried the weight of old stories, stories about human ships that had once defended against enemies far stronger than anyone alive could imagine. For decades, the records of those ships were locked away in archives, considered history and legend. But now, as the signal pulsed across human space, Ethan felt a pull, a call to something bigger than himself. He gathered a small team, each member skilled in ways unusual for a simple colony. Laura King had a sharp mind for technology and could repair machines that no one else could. Ben Harris had a talent for strategy and reading maps of both stars and battles. Megan Ross could operate old systems without manuals, understanding intuitively what the engineers intended. Together, they moved toward the source of the signal, not fully understanding why. Some believed it was a remnant of the past, a warning left behind. Others whispered it might be a weapon, but all of them felt the same thing: this could change everything. Meanwhile, in the council chambers on Avaris, John noticed something strange. The attacks from the aliens had slowed in a few isolated sectors. Only a few ships were involved, yet the alien forces avoided them. He did not understand why. Other council members ignored the change, too busy arguing about what to do next. But John stared at the readings, studying the data. Something in human space had changed, something the aliens respected or feared without knowing it. He felt a quiet hope stirring for the first time in months. Back on Arden, Ethan's team reached the location indicated by the signal. Hidden in a cavern deep underground, covered with centuries of dust and vegetation, was a ship. Not just any ship. This was a human warship, ancient by any standard, a relic of an era when humans built to survive threats far greater than now. Its hull was massive, long and angular, its surface covered in the dull silver of aged metal. The lights along its edges flickered faintly as if awakening from a long sleep. Ethan approached slowly, his hand hovering over the controls as if touching the ship would wake it. "Do you think it still works?" Laura asked, her voice low, filled with both excitement and fear. "I don't know," Ethan replied, "but if it does, we might have a chance to change everything." Ben stepped closer to the entrance, scanning for security systems or traps. "It's not just a ship," he said. "Look at the size of it. The weapons alone could destroy an entire fleet." Megan ran her fingers over a control panel, and it hummed softly under her touch. "It's like it's waiting for someone to understand it," she said. Ethan nodded. "Then we'll be the ones it waits for." They began activating the ship's systems. Power coursed through the corridors, lights flickering to life, revealing the interior. It was not luxurious. It was built for war. Every control, every seat, every panel had a purpose. Humans had built machines like this to survive, to fight enemies far stronger than themselves, and this ship had been ready to do so for centuries. As they explored, the faint signal that had called them here began to grow stronger. It pulsed like a heartbeat, steady, reliable, and full of promise. In another part of the galaxy, the alien fleets noticed disturbances in human space. Sensors picked up energy surges, faint but distinct, unlike anything they had encountered. Some commanders argued that a new human fleet was appearing, but none of them took it seriously. Humans were weak, they thought. Humans were slow. Humans were irrelevant, yet the strange pulses continued, moving closer to the frontier where the aliens were advancing. Something ancient was waking, something the galaxy had long forgotten. John Carter watched the data and his heart began to race. Could it be? Could humans actually have a weapon capable of turning the tide? He dared not speak too loudly in the council chamber, where panic and despair ruled, but he felt a spark of hope ignite inside him. For months, all he had seen was defeat, destruction, and fear. Now he glimpsed something different, a chance that humanity, small and underestimated, might have a role in saving countless worlds. On Arden, Ethan's team completed the ship's activation. The engines thrummed, powerful and steady. The control panels glowed, showing readings that none of them fully understood. The weapons systems responded to Megan's commands, firing test signals into the atmosphere. They were old, yes, but they were deadly, and they were human. Ethan walked through the bridge, his hand resting on the rail. He felt the weight of responsibility. "We are not doing this for glory," he said quietly. "We are doing this to survive, and to remind the galaxy that humans are not weak, never have been, never will be." As the ship lifted from its cavern, dust and debris falling away, the sky above Arden was bright with light and energy. This was no ordinary human vessel. This was a relic of the past, awakened to fight a future that seemed impossible. And as it rose into orbit, the faint pulse of its signal spread outward, reaching distant systems. Aliens did not yet understand its meaning, but soon they would. John Carter's data terminals beeped again. The signal from human space was growing stronger. His hands shook slightly as he traced its path. "Could it really be?" he whispered. "Could humans actually do this?" And far from him, in deep space, the ancient warship moved. Its purpose was clear, even if the galaxy did not yet understand it. It was ready. It was alive. It was human, and the galaxy, trembling under the shadow of alien terror, had not yet seen what was coming. The galaxy was afraid, but it did not yet know that the one species it had underestimated for centuries was about to change everything. The ancient human warship hovered in orbit above Arden, its engines glowing faintly as if waking from a long sleep. Ethan Cole stood on the bridge, surrounded by his team. The vast interior of the ship was quiet, yet alive. Panels flickered with lights, corridors hummed with energy, and the air smelled faintly of metal and oil. This ship was unlike anything the galaxy had seen in centuries. It was built not for comfort, but for survival, and every inch of it reflected the sharp, disciplined mind of the humans who had created it long ago. Ethan ran his hand along the rail, feeling the vibrations of the engines beneath him. He turned to Laura King, who was crouched over a control panel, her fingers flying across the old keys. "How are the systems?" he asked. Laura straightened and smiled faintly. "They're waking up slowly, but everything is responding. The weapons, the engines, even the old navigation systems, they're all online. It's amazing, really. This ship has been sleeping for centuries, and yet it's ready. Ben Harris, standing near a holographic map of the galaxy, shook his head in disbelief. It's hard to believe this was human technology. The alien fleets we've been watching, they wouldn't even notice us if this ship stayed hidden. But if we show ourselves, it could change everything. Megan Ross walked over to the tactical console, her eyes wide with excitement. We need to understand its weapons, she said. They're not like anything in modern fleets. There are energy beams, missiles, shields. I can feel the power in my hands. If we can control it, we can make a difference in the war. Ethan nodded. We will, but we need to be careful. This ship is old, and the galaxy doesn't know we're here yet. We need to plan our first move. For days, the team worked tirelessly, learning the ship's systems. They trained on simulators, studied old manuals, and even explored the hidden compartments of the vessel. Each day, the ship seemed to respond more, almost as if it recognized its crew as its own. The engines purred with life, and the weapons systems hummed faintly, ready to strike. Meanwhile, far from Arden, the alien fleets continued their advance. Entire systems had fallen under their control, and the Council worlds were losing hope. John Carter watched reports from the front lines with growing concern. Entire fleets had been destroyed, and many planets had surrendered without a fight. The aliens were relentless, moving quickly and striking with precision. Then, faintly, reports began to come in about unusual energy readings in the outskirts of human space. Sensors detected a massive vessel, ancient but powerful, moving through the stars. At first, the Council dismissed the reports. Humans were weak. They had no fleets to challenge the aliens, but as the readings grew stronger, panic spread. Back on the warship, Ethan and his crew were preparing for their first test. They had identified a sector where a small alien scouting fleet had been spotted. It was risky, but they needed to see if the ship could operate in combat. Ethan stood on the bridge, looking at the view screen. The stars stretched endlessly, and in the distance, tiny dots moved, the alien ships. Laura turned to him. "Are you sure about this?" she asked. Ethan nodded. "We have to know what we can do. If this ship works, it could give the galaxy a chance, and we need to start somewhere." Ben added, "We're not attacking full fleets yet, just scouts. We can test the weapons without drawing too much attention." Megan smiled. "Then let's wake the sleeping giant." The ship's weapons systems came alive with a soft hum. Energy beams, long-range cannons, and defensive shields powered up. The ancient vessel moved silently through space, approaching the scouting fleet. The alien ships, confident in their strength, did not detect the human warship until it was too late. Ethan gave the order. "Fire!" The weapons roared to life. Energy beams cut through the alien ships with terrifying precision. Missiles streaked through space, exploding with controlled force. The aliens tried to retaliate, but their weapons seemed to have no effect on the ancient shields. One by one, the scout ships were destroyed. The human warship moved like a predator, fast, efficient, unstoppable. Laura, Ben, and Megan watched in awe. "It's perfect," Laura whispered. "It's like it was made for this moment." Ethan remained calm, though inside his heart raced. "This is only the beginning," he said. "We need to stay focused. The galaxy needs more than one victory." Word of the ship's appearance spread quickly. On distant worlds, alien commanders began to worry. How could a single human vessel destroy their scouts so easily? They had never seen humans act like this. They had never imagined that humans could fight with such skill and power. Fear began to creep into their ranks. John Carter, still on Avaris, saw the reports and could hardly believe his eyes. "It can't be," he murmured. The humans had been underestimated for centuries, dismissed as weak and irrelevant. Now one ship was changing everything. He felt a strange mixture of pride and relief. Finally, humanity was showing its true strength. Meanwhile, Ethan's team continued to explore the warship's capabilities. They discovered hidden compartments filled with advanced technology, old but functional. Some weapons had designs that no modern engineer could understand. Others contained records of past battles, showing how humans had once defended themselves against enemies far stronger than the current threat. Each discovery strengthened their confidence. Ethan gathered his team in the command room. "We need a plan," he said. "The alien fleets are strong and we can't take them all at once, but we can strike where they least expect it. We can protect our colonies, give the Council worlds hope, and show the galaxy that humans are not weak." Ben nodded. "We need to move quickly. Every day we wait, more systems fall, more worlds are destroyed. We can't let fear paralyze us." Laura added, and we need to understand the ship completely. It has power, yes, but it also has limits. We can't afford mistakes. Megan smiled. Then let's learn everything we can. This ship belongs to humans, and it's time the galaxy remembers that. The team trained day and night, running simulations and drills. They tested the ship's weapons, shields, and engines. They explored its corridors, discovering hidden systems and compartments. Each day, the ship felt more alive, as if it were responding to their presence. The pulse that had first called them here now beat steadily, a rhythm of strength and readiness. In the distance, the alien forces continued their advance. They sensed something unusual, but they could not identify it. Some fleets reported strange energy readings, others reported small skirmishes with no visible enemy. Panic began to spread among the alien commanders. They did not understand humans, and humans had always been unpredictable. Now they feared the unknown. Ethan looked at the stars, thinking about the coming battles. "We are not just fighting for ourselves," he said. "We are fighting for every world that cannot defend itself. We are reminding the galaxy what humans can do." Laura placed a hand on his shoulder. "And we will do it," she said. "This ship is ours, and we will make it count." Ben adjusted the tactical display. "The first strike showed us we have an advantage. If we use it carefully, we can turn the tide before the aliens realize what's happening." Megan nodded. "The galaxy has forgotten humans. That's our strength. They won't see us coming until it's too late." Ethan took a deep breath. "Then we move forward, one step at a time. And we remind everyone that humans are survivors, fighters, and defenders. No one has ever underestimated us and lived to regret it." The ancient warship moved silently through the stars, its presence hidden until the right moment. It carried a crew that was learning to trust its power and a purpose that was only beginning to unfold. The galaxy did not know it yet, but humans were no longer weak. They were awakening, and the terror that had gripped the stars was about to face a force it had never imagined. As the ship approached the frontier, Ethan's team prepared for their next engagement. They knew the risks, but they also knew that this was their chance. The ship's weapons were ready, its shields were strong, and its crew was determined. In a few hours, they would make their first real strike against the alien fleets. John Carter watched from Avaris, unable to look away from the data streams. His hands trembled slightly as he traced the warship's path. "Humans," he whispered. "Maybe we judged them wrong." Far in the darkness of space, the alien fleets continued their march, unaware that the balance of power was shifting. They had been cruel, unstoppable, and confident. But now, one ancient human warship, manned by a small team of brave humans, was moving to meet them. And when it arrived, the galaxy would see something no one had seen in centuries. Humans, powerful, determined, and fearless. The warship pulsed with energy, ready to strike. Its crew had trained, prepared, and awakened its full potential. The galaxy did not yet know it, but the first battle was coming. The aliens would soon learn that humans were not to be underestimated. That lesson would be written in fire and energy across the stars, and the galaxy would never forget it. Ethan Cole looked at the stars and felt the weight of history on his shoulders. "It's time," he said quietly. "Let's show them what humans can do." And with that, the warship leapt forward, moving into the dark space where the enemy waited. The pulse of its engines, the hum of its weapons, and the determination of its crew announced one thing clearly. Humans had returned to the galaxy, and they were ready to fight. The galaxy was about to witness the awakening of a legend, and no one, not the Council worlds, not the alien fleets, would ever see humanity the same way again. The human warship moved like a shadow through the dark of space, silent and unstoppable. Ethan Cole stood on the bridge, watching the stars shift as the ship raced toward the alien fleets. Every system aboard hummed with power. The engines glowed, shields sparkled faintly, and weapon systems pulsed with energy, ready to strike. For the first time in months, Ethan felt a quiet confidence. Humans had always been underestimated, but now they held the advantage. Laura King leaned over a control panel, her fingers flying across old, glowing keys. "Sensors are picking up enemy ships ahead," she said. "They're larger fleets, stronger than the scouts we faced before, but they haven't noticed us yet." Ben Harris studied the tactical display, his eyes sharp. "We have to strike carefully. One wrong move and the advantage we have could disappear." Megan Ross smiled faintly. "They won't see us coming. This ship was built for surprises." Ethan nodded. "Then we make them regret underestimating humans." In the distance, the alien fleets moved confidently. They were massive, thousands of ships glinting in the starlight, their weapons systems active, ready for battle. They had never feared humans before. Humans were small, weak, and irrelevant, but something in this sector was different. Strange energy readings had appeared over the last few days, and scouts sent to investigate had disappeared. Alien commanders were uneasy, though they did not yet understand why. The human warship emerged from a dark cloud of gas, suddenly visible to the enemy. Its size alone made the aliens pause, but it was what came next that terrified them. Weapons began to hum, shields flared, and energy pulses shot outward in a protective field. The aliens tried to fire, but their beams were absorbed or deflected. One by one, they realized their weapons could not penetrate the human ship's defenses. Ethan gave the command. Attack formation, target the lead ships first. Energy beams cut through the alien fleet, striking the lead vessels with perfect precision. Missiles streaked through space, exploding in bright flashes that lit the darkness. The aliens scrambled to respond, but their attacks were ineffective. The ancient human warship moved smoothly, like a predator circling its prey. Its speed was surprising for its size and its firepower unmatched. Laura watched the tactical display, her voice tense. They're stronger than the scouts, but we can handle this. Keep firing on their command ships. If we destroy them, the rest will fall into chaos. Ben nodded. Their formation is solid, but they aren't ready for our tactics. They've never fought humans like this. Megan leaned forward. It's working. Look at the fleet. They're breaking apart. Ships are retreating, others are destroyed. We've caught them off guard. Ethan gripped the rail, his eyes sharp. Keep pressure. We need to push them back completely. We don't want this to be a small victory. We want to show the galaxy humans are a force to be reckoned with. The warship fired again. Energy beams sliced through the alien fleet, cutting ships in half. Missiles struck with pinpoint accuracy, and shields flared whenever alien weapons came near. The aliens tried to regroup, but panic had spread. Their command ships were damaged, their lines broken, and their confidence shattered. One by one, the alien vessels began to flee. Far away on a council world, John Carter watched the reports with wide eyes. It can't be, he whispered. One human ship is doing what entire fleets could not. They're fighting like a storm. In the warship's control room, the crew cheered quietly as the last of the lead ships exploded. The human vessel had cleared the path, and the rest of the alien fleet was in disarray. Ethan allowed himself a small smile. It's only the beginning, he said. We have more to do. As they moved through the battlefield, the human warship became a symbol of hope. Allied fleets, which had been scattered and afraid, saw the power of the ancient vessel and began to follow. They moved cautiously at first, but slowly, humans were inspiring courage. For the first time in months, the galaxy saw that victory was possible. Ethan knew they could not stop here. The aliens had not yet realized the full potential of the human warship. Its weapons were unmatched, its shields nearly impenetrable, and its speed deceptive. He looked at his crew. We need to continue, push forward. Protect the systems still under threat. Show them humans are not weak. Laura smiled. It's incredible. I never imagined we'd see this. This ship, it's more than a machine. It's alive in a way. It's responding to us, working with us. Ben nodded. And the aliens are terrified. They've never faced a ship like this. Every move we make confuses them, and we're winning because of it. Megan added, it's more than just power. It's precision, strategy, and timing. This ship is built for battle, and we know how to use it. That's what makes us unstoppable. The warship moved through the sectors, engaging alien forces at every turn. Small fleets tried to resist, but they were no match. Larger fleets were forced to retreat. Planetary defenses that had been captured by the aliens were freed, and civilians who had been hiding in fear began to emerge. Word spread quickly. A human warship was fighting back against the aliens, and it was winning. Ethan felt a quiet pride. Humans had always survived against odds that seemed impossible. Now they were proving it to the entire galaxy. This is what we've been waiting for, he said. The galaxy needs humans to fight, and we're showing them we can. Laura monitored the systems as the warship engaged another alien fleet. Energy readings are stable, shields holding, weapons firing perfectly. We can keep going as long as we need to. Ben adjusted the tactical map. Another fleet is approaching from the north. They're larger but disorganized. If we hit them quickly, we can force them to retreat too. Megan smiled. Then let's do it. They won't know what hit them. The human warship moved again, targeting the approaching fleet. Beams cut through ships, missiles exploded, and the shields held firm. The aliens tried to fight back, but they were outmaneuvered at every turn. Ships were destroyed, others fled, and chaos spread through their ranks. The human vessel moved with calm precision, striking where it was most effective and avoiding unnecessary risk. Ethan watched the battle unfold. "Every move we make is teaching them a lesson," he said quietly. "They've underestimated humans for too long. It's time they understand what we're capable of." As the warship pressed forward, more reports came from distant worlds. Civilians and leaders alike were astonished. Humans, who had been dismissed as weak and irrelevant, were now the center of hope. Entire fleets of alien ships were being shattered by one vessel. John Carter felt a mix of pride and disbelief. "I knew humans were capable," he whispered, "but this is beyond anything I imagined." The battle continued for hours. The human warship moved through sectors, engaging fleets, breaking formations, and forcing retreats. Its weapons were precise, its shields nearly impenetrable, and its crew disciplined and fearless. No alien commander had ever faced anything like it. Panic spread among the enemy ranks, and the tide of war began to turn. Laura leaned back, exhausted but exhilarated. "We've done so much already, but there's more to do." Ben nodded. "The aliens won't forget this. They'll be cautious now, but we have momentum. If we use it wisely, we can change the course of the war." Megan smiled faintly. "We're showing the galaxy humans are survivors, fighters, and strategists. They thought we were weak. Now they'll think twice before underestimating us." Ethan stood at the front of the bridge, looking at the stars. "This is more than a battle," he said. "This is a message. Humans are not weak. We will fight to protect what we have, and we will show the galaxy our strength. Today, we remind them who we are." The human warship continued its campaign, striking fear into the alien fleets and hope into allied worlds. Each victory, no matter how small, sent ripples across the galaxy. Humans were no longer spectators. They were fighters, protectors, and a force to be reckoned with. As the day ended, the crew gathered on the bridge, tired but proud. Ethan looked at each of them. "We've won today," he said, "but this is only the beginning. The galaxy has seen a glimpse of what humans can do. We must be ready for whatever comes next." Laura nodded. "And we will be. This ship is more than a weapon. It's a symbol, a reminder that humans survive no matter the odds." Ben added, "And the aliens will remember us. They won't forget the power of one human warship." Megan smiled. "We've shown them what humans are capable of. And we'll keep showing them until the galaxy knows the truth." Ethan took a deep breath, looking at the stars. "We are humans. We fight to survive and we fight to protect. Today we proved it. Tomorrow we do it again. And the day after, until the galaxy knows. Humans are not weak. We are unstoppable." The ancient warship pulsed with energy, its weapons ready, its engines strong, and its crew determined. The galaxy had not yet seen the full power of humans, but they were about to. The aliens had been terrifying, unstoppable, and cruel. Now they faced something they could not understand, a force born of human will, discipline, and courage. The warship moved forward into the darkness, ready for the next battle, ready to change the fate of the galaxy. Humans were no longer underestimated. Humans were no longer weak. Humans had returned, and the galaxy would never forget it. The galaxy was slowly changing. Reports of the human warship's victories spread across the stars like wildfire. Entire worlds whispered its name, though none yet knew who commanded it. Civilians hid in shelters, then emerged cautiously when news arrived that the aliens had been driven back from their systems. Ships that had surrendered began to rebuild. Fear that had gripped countless species for months was giving way to hope. Ethan Cole stood on the bridge of the warship, staring at the latest reports. Fewer alien fleets were advancing, and those that remained were hesitant, unsure how to act against a ship that moved like a shadow, struck like a storm, and survived like nothing else in the galaxy. Laura King leaned over the tactical display, her brow furrowed. "Their numbers are down," she said. "We've destroyed hundreds of ships, but some remain. They're trying to regroup." Ben Harris shook his head. "They'll be cautious now. They know the ship can strike anywhere, and their leaders won't risk losing more fleets. But they might try something else, ambushes, traps, anything." Megan Ross studied the readings from the nearest system. "The colonies are recovering, supply lines are reopening, civilians are safer. The warship's influence is spreading faster than we expected." Ethan nodded. "That's good, but we cannot let our guard down. The aliens may retreat, but that doesn't mean they're defeated. We need to ensure they cannot strike again. Far across the galaxy, alien commanders held emergency meetings aboard massive flagships. Panic was growing, and for the first time, fear dominated their strategy. They had faced humans many times, but never like this. One ship, ancient and powerful, had torn through their fleets with ease. Their calculations failed, their confidence crumbled, and they realized the species they had dismissed as weak might be the one that could destroy them. One alien admiral slammed his clawed hand against a console. "We cannot face them," he growled. "Their shields are too strong, their weapons too precise, and their speed too fast. They are not like other species." Another suggested retreat. "We must pull back, regroup, wait for reinforcements." The first shook his head. "If we do, humans will continue to strike. We will lose more fleets and more worlds. We cannot ignore them." Back on the human warship, Ethan studied the movement of the remaining fleets. "They're retreating," he said quietly, "but we follow carefully. We cannot allow them to escape and rebuild. This is our chance to show the galaxy that humans protect what is theirs and what is worth saving." Laura studied the readings. "We have the advantage. Their morale is low. Our ship is in perfect condition. If we strike now, we can force them completely out of the galaxy's core systems." Ben nodded. "We should be precise. Destroy enough to make them reconsider any future attacks, but avoid unnecessary loss of life. Civilians are our priority." Megan smiled. "Then let's finish this carefully but decisively. They underestimated humans. It's time they learned what we can do." The human warship moved forward, following the retreating alien fleets through the outer systems. Its weapons remained ready, and its shields flared at any minor attack. Aliens attempted small strikes, but they were met with overwhelming force. Every attack failed, and the humans pressed on with calm precision. As they moved from system to system, liberated planets sent messages of gratitude. Holograms of leaders and civilians appeared briefly, thanking Ethan and his team for their bravery. Humans, once dismissed as small and weak, were now heroes across the galaxy. The sight inspired the crew. Even in silence, they felt the weight of what they had accomplished. Ethan took a deep breath as the ship entered the final sector where alien forces had concentrated their remaining fleets. Hundreds of ships gathered, hoping to turn the tide. Yet even they hesitated when they saw the human warship. Its presence alone inspired fear. The pulse of energy from its engines, the hum of its weapons, and the glow of its shields told a story the aliens had never seen before. A species willing to fight, willing to survive, and willing to protect. Laura adjusted the weapon's targeting. "They're organized but nervous. Their first move will reveal their strategy. We have to be ready." Ben nodded. "We know their strengths, we know their weaknesses. Let's use it all." Megan added, "And remember, we fight smart, not just with power. That's what makes us human. That's what makes this ship dangerous." Ethan looked at each of them. "This is it. We strike together and we show the galaxy what humans can do when we fight for what matters." The warship moved forward. Alien ships fired first, hoping to catch it in a trap. But the ancient vessel moved with unmatched speed, dodging energy beams and retaliating with precise fire. Weapons exploded across the enemy fleet, shields flared, and ships began to break apart. The aliens tried to regroup, but their strategy was shattered. The human warship moved like a force of nature, striking where it was most effective. Hours passed, and the battle continued. The aliens, unable to withstand the precision and power of the human vessel, began a full retreat. Smaller ships fled first, then larger vessels, until only the flagships remained. Even they could not face the unstoppable force. Slowly, the aliens pulled back beyond the galaxy's central systems, their morale broken, their fleets in ruin. Ethan breathed deeply. "It's done," he said quietly. "The main fleets are gone. The galaxy is safe for now." Laura smiled, exhausted but proud. "We did it. We really did it." Ben nodded. "The aliens will remember this. They will think twice before attacking humans again. We've changed the balance of power." Megan looked out at the stars. "And we've reminded everyone that humans are survivors, fighters, and protectors. That's what matters." The warship moved to the edge of the liberated systems. It had done what no one thought possible. Humans, once underestimated, had become the galaxy's most powerful defenders. Civilizations that had doubted humanity now looked to them with hope and respect. The galaxy had learned a lesson it would never forget. Humans were strong, and they were determined. Ethan ordered the ship to slow and enter orbit around a neutral system. They needed time to rest, repair, and plan for the future. The crew walked the corridors, tired but satisfied. They had accomplished what many thought impossible. The ship, ancient and powerful, seemed almost alive, as if proud of the humans who had awakened it. John Carter watched reports from the Council worlds. His eyes shone with relief and pride. "Humans, they've done it," he said. "One species underestimated for centuries has turned the tide of war. The galaxy will never doubt them again." Far in the darkness, alien commanders regrouped. Their fleets were damaged, their plans ruined, and their confidence shattered. The human warship had proven that even the most advanced fleets could be defeated by courage, precision, and determination. They did not yet know if humans had more ships, but they feared that the one they had faced was only the beginning. Back on the human warship, Ethan and his crew gathered in the command room. "We've done more than win battles," Ethan said. "We've reminded the galaxy what humans are. We've shown them that even when underestimated, humans survive, fight, and protect." Laura nodded. "We've also proven that this ship and the people who operate it can make a difference. The galaxy will never forget this day." Ben smiled. "And we've given hope to countless civilizations. That's what matters most. The galaxy needed humans to act, and we did." Megan looked at Ethan. "What now? Do we continue to fight, or do we return to silence?" Ethan thought for a moment. "We return, but not to hide. We remain ready. Humans are not a species that strikes blindly, but we will defend the galaxy when needed. This ship and all humans will be a reminder. Peace is our choice, but strength is our nature." The warship, ancient yet alive, pulsed with energy. Its engines glowed, its weapons hummed softly, and its shields flared faintly. The galaxy, once terrified, now looked at humans with respect, hope, and awe. As the crew prepared to leave the battlefront, Ethan reflected quietly. "We've done what many thought impossible, but our work is not over. Humans will continue to watch, protect, and remind the galaxy that strength comes not from size or numbers, but from courage, intelligence, and determination." The human warship turned and began its slow journey back into hidden space. Its mission was complete for now. The alien fleets had retreated, the galaxy was safe, and the legend of humanity had grown. Across countless worlds, species whispered stories of the humans who had fought alone and won. Ethan looked at his crew one last time before the ship's engines glowed brighter, carrying them into the dark. "The galaxy knows our name now," he said, "but it will never truly understand humans. That's our strength. Peace, strength, and survival, that is who we are." Laura, Ben, and Megan nodded. They had seen the ship's full power, fought alongside it, and understood what it meant to be human. They had become part of a story that would be remembered across generations. The human warship moved into the stars, ancient, powerful, and alive. It had protected the galaxy, reminded it of the strength of humanity, and left a lasting message. Humans survive, humans fight, and humans protect. The galaxy had feared humans once. Now it respected them, and it would never forget their name. The pulse of the ship's engines, the hum of its weapons, and the calm confidence of its crew marked a new era. The galaxy had been terrified, but one species, humanity, had changed everything. And somewhere in the depths of space, the ancient warship continued its silent vigil, ready to awaken again if the galaxy needed it. Humanity had returned to the stars, and no force, no matter how cruel, would ever underestimate them again.